Now, guess who got attacked on Twitter the other day? Yeah, that's right, me. Actually, you know what? Attacked is definitely not the right word. I was really just trying to copy that one meme. But I posted a somewhat controversial tweet about hip-hop that went viral on Twitter. A lot of people were giving their take on it. Some people agreed with it. Others, well, you're gonna see in just a second. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, Twitter is an interesting place, man. When Twitter is good, it's really fucking good. And on the contrary, when Twitter is bad, it's really fucking bad. I have a love-hate relationship with Twitter. Maybe you can relate on that. I feel like the responses to the tweet that I'm going to show you in just a second highlights some of the negative parts about Twitter. Don't want to get too ahead of myself, but you're going to see what I'm talking about right now. So I put up this tweet on Twitter the other day saying, you rob yourself out of so much good music by only listening to rap. Now, that's the end of that. That's what I said, and yeah, that's it. As you can see though, it had over 8,000 retweets, 35,000 likes, and over 800 replies. It also had over 2,000 quote tweets, which that is a lot. So it went semi-viral, I think it's fair to say that. Now, first of all, why did I tweet this? Obviously, you can only say so much in one tweet, so that's something I want to talk about on here. The reason why I tweeted this in the first place, and some of my people brought it up in the replies, responding to the people who were upset about this tweet. I run a hip-hop platform, and that's the audience that I speak to. So that makes up for 99% of the people who follow me on any of my social medias. So you're not going to see me speaking to the rock community or the pop community or the jazz community. My words and anything I say in general regarding hip-hop is aimed towards my audience, which is hip-hop fans. And the second reason why I said this, I've been trying to expand my playlist because I'm kind of tired of just listening to hip-hop, honestly. So that's the second reason why I said that. Since I'm talking to hip-hop fans and I mainly consume hip-hop music, that was my way of saying, guys, if you're only listening to hip-hop, you're missing out on all this other good music that you could be listening to, and that is a fact. If you only listen to hip-hop, you are robbing yourself out of a lot of good music you could be listening to otherwise. Now, the contrary is obviously true as well. If you don't listen to hip-hop, you're missing out on a lot of good music as well, because this is one of the most, if not the most diverse genre at the moment. There's something for everybody in hip-hop, and that is a fact as well. Let's move on to this response that I got from a user whose tweet went kind of viral. They put up a response to my tweet which almost ratioed my tweet, and here it is. You almost never hear this statement about different genres of music, and it is very clear why. We're gonna get to what exactly their tweet was implying in just a second. As you can see, this person was very close to pulling a ratio on me. That would have been kind of funny if it happened, I can't even lie. As you can also see though, their tweet had over 6,000 retweets, so it's safe to say that a lot of people agreed with them. Now let's check out the next tweet that they posted right after this one. And as someone who clearly listens to so much more than just rap, telling someone their taste is bad or somehow lacking because they found a genre they like more than everything else is so lame. Go listen to your black metal, ambient, and progressive rock in peace and leave people alone. Now obviously, my tweet got completely misconstrued. It got completely ripped apart, shattered into pieces, got twisted and turned, beat black and blue upside down, and yeah, all that. They weren't the only one who misconstrued what I said, by the way. Their response was just the one that blew up, which is why that's the one I'm showing. You know, I remember seeing this one tweet that goes something like, Twitter is the only place where you could say something like, I like pancakes, and someone might just counter it with, so you hate waffles? No, bitch, that's a whole new sentence. Fuck is you talking about? That's a pretty common phenomenon on the app. Twitter just doesn't offer a lot of context because there's only so much you can say in a tweet, which is why people are on there all day fighting about shit that at the end of the day doesn't matter. With that being said, I still want to explore what they were talking about because it is something worth bringing up. Even though I strongly think my tweet was heavily misinterpreted by not only the person who responded to me, but the thousands and thousands of people who were in my mentions telling me to stay out of black people's business. I don't know about you, but I think it's kind of crazy how black is literally in my name and I still got people telling me shit like that. So I obviously took offense to that, okay? I'm gonna admit it. I was offended. Can you blame me though? Back to what I was talking about, I have actually seen a lot of people saying things like don't limit your music taste to only rap, expand your playlist, or something like don't limit your playlist to rap because there's so many other genres out there, etc. And a lot of those kinds of comments are prominent on Twitter. Like I've clarified, me saying what I said didn't come from the place of echoing what other people were saying though. Personally, I'm just getting a little bored of rap, and I know a lot of people out there can't relate. Now if you only listen to one genre and you keep on exposing yourself to the same type of music over and over again, and it gets boring. That's just what it is. With that being said, what the person who responded to me is talking about is a whole nother aspect, which it is a very valid point, and that's why I want to touch on it here. There is actually a racial undertone to some of those don't only listen to rap comments. Most of those, or should I say all those comments, usually come from people who look down on hip-hop as less than of a genre. There's a lot of people out there who think that rap isn't a quote-unquote pure art form. It doesn't deserve respect, and therefore it is the lowest of the lowest of any genre. Now, if any of those thoughts cross your mind, I'm gonna assume that there's some kind of racial undertone to those thoughts, because let's keep it real, there's no other genre out there who gets that kind of treatment. Hip-hop is the only genre that gets this kind of rep. Now, there is a reason for it aside from the racial aspect, like rappers talk about guns, drugs, and murder in their music, so that's what's contributing to this perception of the genre. Absolutely there is. However, if that's what it strictly came down to, how come all those country songs where they talk about snorting a line of coke and shooting their wife hasn't led to a negative perception of that genre? Could it be because country is a white genre while hip-hop is inherently black? I would say so. From my experience, people who view hip-hop that way usually have some kind of racial discriminatory connotation in their mind when they think about rap. Sometimes it's conscious, sometimes it's unconscious, because maybe they grew up in a household where mom and dad were telling them to not listen to that rap music, which is just another way of saying, you know what, I'm not gonna say it, because it's ignorant as fuck. And since hip-hop is inherently black, those thoughts derive from not how they view rap music, but more so how they view black people. Like I said earlier, hip-hop is the only genre that gets this kind of treatment, which is not right. With that being said, the point still stands though. If you limit your music consumption to strictly one genre, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of other good music. And by the way, that was the main point of my tweet, which a lot of people completely missed. That's not to say you can't be happy consuming the same thing over and over again, but the fact is, if you keep on eating the same meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 365 days in a row, you'll be missing out on all this other good food you could be consuming, and that's pretty much what I was trying to say. We all know hip-hop gets a bad rep, especially in the media. The people who have this kind of mentality towards the genre, the mainstream media, whatever, 99% of the time they haven't dug deeper than what's popping on the charts at the time. They're pretty much basing their entire opinion on a couple mainstream rap records, which, for the record, just because it's mainstream doesn't make it bad. The biggest issue I think hip-hop has in terms of the shit that's mainstream is mainly how formulaic it all sounds. It's not a matter of if the music sounds good, because let's keep it real, any rap song that touches, let's say, the Billboard top 10, most of the time, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it actually sounds good on a musical level. I mean, that's why it charted so high. Now, it's definitely nothing new, and maybe you don't want to listen to it on your own time, but if the song comes on when you're at, let's say, a party, you're not going to be complaining. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, I feel like I digressed a little, my bad for that. Even though it's in the title, I don't think my tweet was all that controversial at all. Most people who saw it obviously don't know who the source is, and since it's Twitter, let's be honest, people don't care to find out who the source is. That tweet came from a guy who's built his entire platform around hip-hop. I mean, the word hip-hop is literally in my Twitter bio, man. But you know, when things go viral, you can't really control how people react to it. Anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, my quote-unquote controversial tweet about hip-hop, not so controversial if you ask me, but maybe Twitter disagrees, which they clearly did. Any thoughts on this entire conversation though? The Twitter shit aside, I think this is a great conversation to have. A lot of things to bring up here, especially regarding the aspect about hip-hop being seen as less than of a genre by a big group of people out there. Like I said, I think there is a racial undertone to that, which we talked about. But yeah, I want to hear what you have to say about it. So definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.